So this is part 2. Let's talk about what we did in part 1. If you didn't watch it, go watch it, then come back here. We've replaced our fluorescent light with a Hue Smart light. We've added the Hue Smart light to our Hue app and added it to a room called Hallways. We've added that entire group and light to our Home Assistant. Now it's in Home Assistant. Let's go add it to some automations and then let's go see what it all looks like. So let's run the intro and then jump into the code. Okay, so now that we've added the light to Home Assistant, we can see it. Let's add it to an automation. So we are going to go to Atom, which is my favorite editor. We can see our project. So I think for this one, I'm going to create a new one, but I'm going to leverage my Z-Wave hall door sensor. So I'm going to hit right click and click duplicate. And we're going to call this one Garage Entry Light. So Garage Entry Light. Actually, I actually like doing everything lowercase. I find that sometimes Home Assistant has some issues with uppercase. So Garage Entry Light. We'll create that YAML. So this will create a new one. So now we have Garage Entry Light. So now what we need is we need to know what those two doors are called. So let's go to my Home Assistant. So this is my floor plan. So what this allows me to do is this allows me to see. So the two doors that we want to capture are this one, which is the interior garage door, and the kitchen door. So we're gonna go to services. Actually, we're gonna go to states. We're gonna look at our entity and we're gonna look for kitchen door. So here you go. So this is the sensor that I need. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy that into my project. So we're gonna say, if this binary sense gets switched to on, which means the door is open, find is the interior garage door. So we can go to our attributes because we know the friendly name is interior. And here we go, we have our interior garage door. So that's one of the binary sensors. I made an entire, well, I have a blog post about my alarm system that I created. So I used the existing alarm system that I have in the house to connect to 3 node MCUs, and then from there we hooked it all into Home Assistant. So this allowed me to leverage all of the hardwire connections to my windows and doors for a custom built alarm system and automation platform. So the sensors are awesome. I couldn't do this sort of thing without that project. So if you have a chance, I'll put the links in the description. You can read about that. That's a top-notch product. So now that we have this, we're gonna go back to our garage and we're gonna put this into our automation. So now we have, let me change this. So this is gonna be called Garage Light Helper. Garage Light Hallway Helper. So we have Garage Light Hallway Helper. We're gonna hide it, we don't need it. This is just gonna be a system automation that runs in the background. We're gonna have 2 triggers. So we're gonna say, if one of these 2 doors opens, we want some things to happen. So we don't need any conditions. Since this is an interior hallway, it's always dark. So basically if either one of those things opens, I want those lights to turn on. So we'll say light turn on, and then we are going to put in our garage hallway lights. So through the magic of YouTube automation, things are now, I added in a bunch, so I didn't make you sit through. So now we have our conditions where we basically have our 2 sensors are off. I do have to change the light entry. So we're gonna say, turn off this light. And that's basically it for this automation. So basically we have triggers for both doors. For the close, we're gonna check to make sure both doors are closed. And then if both doors are closed, we're going to turn off the light. On the flip side, if either one of these doors opens, we're gonna turn on the light. So one door opens, light goes on, two doors close, light goes off. That's the automation that I want. So we're going to save this. So let me just take a minute to tell you, visit my GitHub. Everything on my GitHub has all the code. All the code is on the GitHub. You can go there, you can download just basically everything that you need. Everything that you see me running, packages, YAML, automations, ideas, it's all on the repo. It's pretty well documented. I'm including more and more links to some of the YouTube videos that make sense. And of course, all my blog posts that have even more in-depth writing around these automations. It's all on the GitHub. So there's links on screen, just go there, you can check it out. You can download a lot of the packages, you can just download and add them to your own automation, your own Home Assistant installation, and then you can have these things up and running pretty quickly. So you'll just have to change the IDs to make sure that they match up. But I think the GitHub repo is an excellent source for a lot of this stuff. Check mine out, check everyone else's out. There's some tags that you can click and you'll see other people's repos as well. There's a lot of good information on GitHub. So if you haven't been there, check it out. So now that we're done with the automations, just a quick restart of Home Assistant, and then we'll go test it out. We'll go look at it. So the light's on. We're gonna close this door. And I'm gonna show you some of the sensors we're using. So the first sensor is our Z-Wave sensor. So now that the door is closed, it's going to wait 5 minutes before turning off. 5 or 3, I think it was 3. So this is our first sensor, our Z-Wave sensor. And this door is actually connected hardwired. So you can see, there it is. It's hard to see, but there's a little bullet sensor right built into the door frame. So we're gonna close this. I'm gonna wait 3 minutes and I'll fast forward and we'll see the light turn off. And there we go, light turned off. When both doors close, I want that light to go off.